This raises questions about why in some cases people who need help from law enforcement end up becoming victims instead. 10 News reporter Eric Glasser is looking deeper into that criticism and why sometimes the best intentions can have the worst outcome.
Within 15 minutes, he was dead.
In July of last year, Elsie Williams called the Pasco Sheriff's Office, hoping to get help for her son Steve, who was suicidal. Instead, things escalated.
I thought maybe somebody could help him, because he wasn't a threat to nobody. They say he was. I said he wasn't.
It happens too often, says Williams. In recent years, she recalls seeing case after case of law enforcement inflicting harm against those they'd been called to protect from harm. Suicide threats that end in gunfire. Welfare checks that don't end well at all. In Lakeland, police say they told Justin Abbott it could be dangerous for him to sleep under the interstate, but only after police tried to help the 38-year-old was he actually harmed.
Back off. The same thing you would want the person to do, back off.
So why didn't Lakeland police just ask Abbott to move on or back off when things started to heat up?
Originally, they're going to let him just walk off, check his name, make sure there's no warrants, and tell him don't come back and do that again. But he made the choice not to leave. That was his decision.
Crime prevention consultant and former FBI agent Dave Couvetier says cops are trained to try to de-escalate situations, but walking away would make them liable if the subject or someone else then gets hurt.
And again, the police are going to be held accountable for that because they didn't do their job. It is very difficult to disengage once there's a threat that's been assessed.
In the Lakeland case, Couvetier says if Abbott had simply complied with the order to move on, this confrontation probably would have been avoided. But Williams thinks cops can sometimes be too quick to act, hurting rather than helping, even if that wasn't their intent.
If that's what you're out here, our taxes are paying you for, then help. I wasn't paying you to come out here and shoot my son, no.
In Tampa, Eric Glasser, 10 News.
Our law enforcement expert says the smartest thing that you can do is cooperate with police in the moment, comply with what they're asking, and help keep the situation from escalating. If you think you've been treated improperly, you can always file a complaint or request an investigation later.